as per my research, that other research that I had done in the field of data science and in the terms of job opportunities. So what
Mhm.
I have personally observed, that demand of a junior data science, or let's say a beginner in the field of data science, is less
Mhm.
than the supply of it. This is what
True.
I feel. I'm not sure if this is applicable, but what
Mhm.
I had seen in the current company in which I'm working, or the companies that I'm in contact with, this is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Like, every company wants you to have some experience, um,
Yeah.
in some ways. So,
Mhm.
what is your suggestion? So, should, like, if I'm a beginner in the field, so should I be like directly targeting for a data scientist position, or let's say I should start small, or let's say I should start on, like, as a data analyst, or somewhere related to, like, in which I'll be having the data at my end. But let's say
Mhm.
I'm not a data scientist, and whatever I'm doing at my free time is up to me. But at my office also, if I'm working on some data related, not a data scientist, this is what I think is a proper way.
Mhm.
Do you have any additional points in that?
I think this personally is a great way to begin in the field, and I would say there are two distinct ways that I can think of right now. One
Okay.
would be, as you said, a great way, and I personally have followed that same route. I was a data analyst at Udacity India. So
Okay.
how you start, in a data space of things, it's the same way how you learn from data. You also can start from data.
Yeah.
You start by manipulating large volumes of data, storing them, structuring them. Then after
Yeah.
that, you progress into how analyzing can make them better. Then after that, you go into predictive modeling and all. So that, as you said, is a great career route to take. Another one that I can think of off the top of my head is the current problem between supply and demand is critical thinking, which means, and I read this off of a post I was recently reading, was that it's not the experience, what with experience there's a lot of critical thinking that comes into people, which means if I am a junior data scientist and people want to ask for experience from me, I can trump that by also being, critically thoughtful about some certain problems that I'm trying to solve, which means if I try to give them a business understanding of how I'm trying to solve it and how this will bring economic value to the business, I believe any company would be willing to, hire a data scientist that can do both spheres of those. So I think that
Yeah.
would be one route to build your critical thinking in this field. To build, once you have the basic understanding of data and how it powers businesses, I think it comes naturally that you know how it will solve certain problems for businesses.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah, that's a perfect approach. So let's just, I just wanted to add one thing in this. So,
Hmm.
as per me, what experience brings to the table? The experience brings, like,
Hmm.
you have a problem, you can think of it, like, you can code for that. That's a one approach that even a junior data scientist can code. But if you are
Yeah.
experienced guy, you can think its business implications as well. So
Hmm.
if you don't have experience, if while working on some Kaggle competitions or hackathons, if you can try to build that same mindset in which you can think of
Yeah.
a use case in terms of what its business implication will be. So,
Hmm.
then that will help you in, like, either in interviewing with the new company, or can, like, showcasing your work to the company. That's a very,
Exactly.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So now coming to one personal question, Shantanu. So,
Hmm.
as you had done this graduate from, like, MIT New Ventures graduate, right? So
Hmm.
what, would you like to like, tell something about this particular course? How one can go for this? What basically we learn into that, and what is it all about?
So I think in the larger scheme of things, the course is personally it's the Global Entrepreneurship Bootcamp. It can be accessed at bootcamp.mit.edu. I will send the
Uh,
link across to you, which is
Sure.
how the entry works into the course. But I think personally the course has brought so much perspective into
Okay.
my life, into different spheres that everybody is. For example, I'm in data science and I took this course on building newer ventures. Somebody can be in marketing, somebody can be in any other field, and you get
Okay.
the business perspective that you're looking for in every
Mhm.
field that you exist in, which means it's
Okay.
teaching you to be not an entrepreneur, but it's teaching you to be entrepreneurial, which means doing a lot more with less resources that you have and seeing the end goal of things before you complete those iterations. So my personal experience has been that we were given a task, and the task was basically we have a week and we have a
Okay.
little over a week and we have to build from scratch a new venture, a new company. And that is the one I built, Myment, which I'll discuss later as well. It is,
Okay.
how four of us in a team, five of us, were assigned on day one a team. We didn't know anybody. We didn't know, where we're from, what we do, nothing of that sort. And from day
Okay.
one to day seven, we became great friends at the end of the venture. We went out to beaches and all of that. So, in 7 days, what I realized that when you work in such high pressure environments, we worked almost 19 hours or 18, 19 or 20 hours a day sometimes. One day we worked about 22 hours a day. So when we work this much to create a venture in just 1 week, the
Okay.
experience that you can do this with a lot of people around you brings,
Yeah.
makes you some great friends, makes you some great people that you can start new ventures with or new businesses
Okay.
with. And that
Yes.
experience, I think, was great. Not everybody can go through that route with you, but the people who can, you will really be close to all of your life. I think that's one of the key things I learned there was how to do so much more with less resources that you can have.
Makes perfect sense. So I think you would have a great experience there. So is it an online course or is it an offline, like
So it's
almost?
it's offline. A lot of MIT instructors and professors from MIT came in and gave us lectures. We had to build, a venture all by ourselves. So it's an on-site course.
Okay. So it was not like is what is that was done in Bangalore or you had to go to?
So this was in Brisbane, and
Okay.
this is how it was structured. Is basically that you apply for a course, and once you get through, about the selection rate last I checked was somewhere close to 3-4% in the previous boot camps. It's now come a little above, a little close to 10%. So it's the same acceptance rates as the premier acceptance rate universities of the world. It is going to remain somewhere close to 10% or less than 10%, something like that. Once all
Okay.
of you are selected, you are put
Okay.
through a certain set of courses that you need to take, a certain set of books, pre-reads, all of that. And then
Okay.
everybody was in Brisbane for a while. And in that 1 week that we were supposed to build an entire business based on all of the things we knew, all the things we learned, and all of the people that we met. So that was the course entirely.
Yes, yes, makes perfect sense. I think you might had a great experience there. Okay. So this meme is that is currently which is online or is it just for a purpose?
So sorry, I didn't get that question clearly.
Yeah, I was saying like is that meme is currently online or is that was a for a project purpose?
So it was, I would say we're somewhere close to, I would say we came borderline to a prototype, but we still have to think about whether to scale that as a business or not. And it
Okay.
was mostly on, we used to pronounce it my ment, which meant my mentor. So it was like
Okay.
an online learning platform
Okay.
that we were building. But in this case, it used to collate all of the resources from, the free resources all across the internet. It would make a
Okay.
very structured learning plan for you based on the way you learn and how you like to learn. And then it would
Okay.
give you that learning plan with all of the courses in play. It will track your progress, all of that. So
Okay.
there was a lot around that which we did.
Yeah, yeah. I had gone through like it is mentioned in your LinkedIn profile, so I had gone through that. So I thought
Yep.
that's a perfect idea. So I was also like one. I'm also thinking in this particular field. So I don't know if this would make sense to you. So what I was thinking is that like we currently have two type of resources. Let's say so I am doing Coursera or Udacity courses, or yeah,
Mhm.
either way I'm going like on YouTube and watching some video tutorials. So what
Yep.
I feel at like if I'm going at YouTube and watching video tutorials, so there is a lot of distraction on YouTube. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I would have thought that I would work for 2 hours, I learn this, but after like
yeah.
1 hour, there would be a song suggestion, and I'll just go and watch song that.
Yeah.
But this
Mhm.
is on YouTube and on Coursera and Udacity, it's very specific. Okay, like it's mostly on artificial intelligence and machine learning. It does not like
Mhm.
if you let's say if you just want to improve certain skills of your if you just like let's say you want to improve your interviewing capabilities, like how you should talk or something like that. I'm not sure there are some courses for that as well. So I was
Mhm.
thinking if there's something that can be built which is not that distracted as compared to YouTube and which is not that much specific as compared to Coursera and Udacity, something like that. And let's say if we
Mhm.
can come up with something in future, we'll try to.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think there's